So this is a Coachman Amara 452, just going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van, you've got the hitch, jockey wheel and handbrake and your connections to the car. This is all something we'll go through on site here in person. Front of the caravan, we've got your two gas bottle tie downs and your gas bottle pipe work. It's a reverse thread fitting onto this, so for instance you turn it the opposite way to a Coke bottle to get it to go into place and to fit into the fitment. You've got your battery locker on the side of the van with your 110 amp Malaysia battery in the side and your mains power lead connected. You've got your wind down leg behind here. You need to put all four wind down legs down into place when you are using the caravan on site, because if not the caravan could potentially tip backwards when you're at the back of the van for instance, or it could just make the van very unsteady. So like I said, but you'd never ever lift the caravan with the four wind down legs. On the side of the van here, you've actually got the pump connection, which actually drops into the aqua roll, this end, and the blue trigger on the back allows you to release it from the side of the caravan, and you'd also need to pull that blue trigger back to put it into the side of the van itself. On the side of the van, you've got your heating and hot water flue, that's basically the same as what you've got on the side of the house for your gas systems. The wheel nuts will actually torque when you're here on site to 120 Newton meters, so you can see they've been tightened correctly. We do advise before each time you travel that you do check the wheel nuts just for safety. The back of the caravan on each side, you've got your wind down legs, and again these will be down and in place prior to your handover here on site. At the back of the caravan also, you have two grey pipes coming out the back here, and that is where your waste water comes out. So you put your two grey waste pipes into the bigger circles on the outside of there, and the two pipes would drop down into your waste master itself. On this side of the van, you've got your toilet flush tank, which before use you'd need to fill with 3.5 litres of water and a cap full of the pink fluid. Down below that, you have the toilet waste cassette itself. To release it from the side of the van, you'd lift up the yellow handle at the bottom here, pull the cassette towards you. The neck here is where you empty the waste out, and when I say a cap full of any of the fluids, this is the cap I mean to measure it from. On the back, you've got a pressure relief button, so as you're tipping the waste away, it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. So like I said, it's 3.5 litres of water in this flush tank before use and a cap full of the pink fluid. And then the bottom cassette, it's 1 litre of water and a cap full of the blue fluid. On the side of the van, you've got a blown air vent here, which allows hot air into the awning from the heating system on board. You've got a 3-pin plug, so you can have power coming from the inside of the van to your awning, for instance. The storage locker to access underneath the front beds, and your barbecue gas point. And then you've also got your other wind down leg. Behind the door, you've got the fridge vents that allow hot air to come out the back of the fridge unit itself. Going on to the inside of the van now. Above the door, we've got our master control panel with your master power switch, so we turn that on once we've got mains power connected on the outside. You've got your internal lights, your awning light, which is just above the door on the outside, and your voltmeter for the battery on board the caravan. The first thing you're going to do once you've got power connected to the outside of the van is come underneath the seat on the front right hand side of the van, and you're going to be looking for your yellow drain down valve. Now I'm just going to access it from the top on this particular van so we can see it properly. So what you'll see is just down there on the floor is a yellow valve. That yellow valve is the drain down valve for the water system on the caravan. When that yellow valve is parallel with the floor, you'll be able to fill the water system up. If that yellow valve is pointing towards the bottom of the seat, it will actually be the drain. It will actually drain all of the water from the inside of the caravan. So like I said, to fill it, you need to make sure it's parallel with the floor. You will actually notice in a moment when I turn the taps on that I've already filled the water system. So I'm going to walk you through how you do it in the best way I possibly can with the water system already full. So before you go to drain down the water system, before you start to fill the water system, you'll need to pull the taps over the sink. Turn the tap to the hot side of the water heating and open the tap right up. Once the tap's completely open, on all, so that'd be the kitchen sink, the sink in the bathroom and the shower as well, you'd then be able to come over to the control panel above the door and turn on your water pump. Now to start with, when you turn on this pump, it's probably going to push some air out of the tap so it will spit and splatter. However, once the water system is full, you'll have water running continuously out of every tap, and at that point you can shut down each of the taps and you'll be able to start thinking about warming the water on board the van. So again, on the right hand side of the van at the front, where the seating area is, you have two switches. You have this one here, which is the mains water heater control switch. So as you can see, it's on at the moment. So if you want to warm it on 240, you turn that switch on. If you wanted to use gas to warm the water system, you can also do that by turning this grey dial on the outside round to the gas symbol just here. Green light comes on to let me know it's trying to ignite. If it ignited, that green light would stay lit and there'd be no red light on, but as you can see at the moment, because we've got no gas on this particular van, the red light has appeared to let me know it has failed to ignite. Like I said, if the green light was on, you could then control the temperature of the water heater between 30 and 70 degrees of water temperature. For the heating, as in the actual heater down here, we've got two different ways we can run that. We can run it on gas, which you'd ignite by turning the dial round here between 10 and 9, a bit like your gas barbecue for instance. Hold down the gas valve and hit the igniter on the right hand side, on the left hand side. Once it has ignited, you would have your pilot light lit in the window down here. At the moment obviously we've got no gas on board, but you'd see that pilot light through that window. The heater you can also run on electric. Sorry, let me just go back to the gas side, sorry. To turn the gas supply off, you'd spin it back round to the 0 and you'd turn the gas off. On the wall just here, you'll actually notice I've got another power switch which says Ultra Heat, which is 230 volts power supply, so essentially 240. Again, you'll notice we've got 500, 1000 and 2000 watts down the side. What that relates to is the amount of power that's coming into the caravan from the caravan site you are on. So some sites, if you ask in the site office, they'll inform you of what power supply you can run your heating on. Most sites these days are 1000 to 2000 watts. However, here on site, we are limited to 500 watts. So again, you turn the outer grey dial to select the power source you want to use. And then you control the temperature of your heater on this dial just here. If you want to use the blown air heating, so the heat comes out the vents around the caravan, as you can see just below the cabinet area just there, you can actually select on here continuous blown air, heat so it comes out the front of the heater only, or automatic blown air so it cuts in and out with the thermostat. You've also then got your fan speed on top here. So continuous blown air, I flick the switch over to the wave symbol here, which will go to continuous blown air. Automatic blown air, which will cut in and out with the heating system. And then a dot in the centre, straight out the front of the heater. Cooker works the same as your household cooker, no differences at all there. So you've got your igniter on the front, as you'd expect to see, and your gas controls coming across the front. The fridge, again, very simple to use. You've got your power switch on the front, so you turn the fridge on with the power button here. You'll notice you've got three different power sources here. You've got 240 mains, gas that come up illuminated here, which I'll show you in a second, and you also had 12 volts, which is from the 12 volt system on the car you are towing with. To control the temperature of the fridge, you'd use the button on the right hand side on mains and gas. 12 volt mode is only a cool box, so it won't completely chill like everything else, like the fridge will on the gas and the electric. To change the power source, use the grey button on the left hand side, and as you can see I've gone to 12 volt from the car. And then we can go to gas, and it's actually self-ignited on gas, and the pilot light is this blue light just here. If it comes up with an error code 9 just here, it means the gas supply is actually turned off. If for any reason that did happen, I'd just advise you go to the front of the caravan, make sure the gas is turned on, and try reigniting by turning the fridge off and turning back on and selecting your gas power source again. The last thing we're going to go through on this particular caravan is the toilet area in the back of the van. Now, as you can see, washroom is rather large on this van. Toilet system, quite straightforward to use. You've got a pump flush on the top of the toilet here, so you can pump this up and down to flush the toilet system. You've got a full indicator light for the toilet waste cassette on the outside, which will let you know when the toilet waste is full. The toilet also turns for your convenience. However, when you are taking the waste cassette out from underneath the van, you would need to make sure the toilet cassette is pointing straight across the van towards the shower unit. When you are using the loo, you would need to make sure this grey flap here is in the position as it is now to allow the waste to go straight into the toilet cassette underneath the van. So that is the operation of the Coachman Amara 452. If you have any questions on this van at all, please do give us a call here at the Caravan Company. and thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video.